Hello viewers, so I have this question that says a body with an initial velocity of 8 meters per second moves along a straight line with constant acceleration and travels 640 meters in 40 seconds. For the 40 seconds interval, find A, the average velocity, B, the final velocity, and C, the acceleration. Alright, so this falls under kinematics. And we need to find the average velocity, the final velocity, and the acceleration. So let's see how we can get that. Let's start with the information we are given. So the initial velocity, meaning the starting velocity, let's represent that by u, is given to be 8.0 meters per second. So when the initial velocity is 8.0 meters per second, the time was equal to 0 seconds. Before the journey started, time we had is 0 seconds, and the initial velocity we started with at this time, which is 0 seconds, is 8.0 meters per second. And then the position at this point was equal to 0. We didn't cover any distance by this time, so we'll call it x1 to be 0 and also t1 to be 0. After changing position from 0 to 640 meters, at this time, we're told to say the time changed to 40 seconds. So this is basically the information we're given. When time is equal to 0 seconds, and position is also equal to 0 meters, we had an initial velocity, meaning the starting velocity of 8.0 meters. And then after we moved from 0 meters to 640 meters, covering that change in position, our time used is 40 seconds. So we are starting by finding the average velocity. So average velocity, let's represent that by V, AV like that, and G. So average velocity is given by change in position, which is displacement divided by change in time. So replacing with what we have on top there, we have change in position, which is given as x final minus x initial. And down here, what we have is change in time, which is t final minus t initial, like that. So getting on our information there, our final position is 640 meters. Then our initial position is 0 meters. Then this will divide by our final time is 40 seconds minus our initial time, which is 0 seconds. And when we do our mathematics there, what we are having is 640 divided by 40 seconds. What are we getting here? So when we divide that, 640 divided by 40, this is giving me a 16. So it means our average velocity will be 16 meters per second. So this is the answer for the first part, that is average velocity. Then let's look at the second part. So the second part is talking about the final velocity. Now, how do we find the final velocity? Getting it from the formula that says average velocity. So average velocity is equal to initial velocity added to the final velocity divided by 2. So we'll get it from this formula, where when we make V, in this formula here, what we have is this V represents final velocity, this U represents initial velocity, and the V average represents the average velocity. So we have average velocity, we also have the initial velocity, and then we are just finding the final velocity. So let's do that. Making it the subject, we are going to say U added to V is equal to 2 multiplied by V average. So that's what we have there. And then our V will be equal to 2 multiplied by the average minus the initial velocity. When you take the initial velocity on the other side, it becomes a minus. And then this will be equal to V is equal to 2 multiplied by the average velocity we calculated earlier on is 16 meters per second. And this will be subtracted by 8.0 meters per second, which is the initial velocity. Taking our answer on the other side, we are saying what we have is 32 meters per second, because 2 multiplied by 16 is giving us 32. Then this will subtract by 8.0 meters per second. So this is giving me, according to my calculator here, it's giving me 24. So this gives me 24 meters per second, meaning this is now our final speed or velocity. In this case, we're talking about velocity. So this is our final velocity, like that. All right, so let's look at the last one that is talking about finding the acceleration. How do we find this acceleration? From this formula that says V is equal to U plus AT. This is one of the 3 equations of linear motion. So making A the subject of the formula, which is acceleration, you find that acceleration will be equal to V minus U divided by T. So this is the formula that will help us find the acceleration. Replacing with what we have here, we're going to say the final velocity that we calculated earlier on is 24 meters per second, and this will subtract by 8, which is the initial velocity. This will divide by time. The time we're given is 40 seconds. All we have to do there is do mathematics again. So when we do mathematics here, 24 minus 8 will give us 16. This is 16 meters per second, and this will divide by 40 seconds. And when we punch our calculator here, 16 divided by 40 is giving us a 0.4 meters per second. So that's how we solve this question. Our answer is 0.4 meters per second for acceleration.